Objectives. After going through this unit you will able to know general characteristics of algae, various type of reproduction of algae, life cycle patterns and alternation of generation in algae. 1.2 Introduction. Before knowing about the details of algae, have you ever wondered where one could find algae? What is the cell structure of algae? Whether they have prokaryotic or eukaryotic structure? Are they good for environment? Can they be used as food? These are some obvious questions that come in our mind when someone talks about algae. During rainy season most of us have experienced the slippery green structure on the shady and moist places, which is actually responsible for many accidents. All these structures about which we are talking about are in fact the living organisms which we are going to study in the following paragraphs. These organisms are commonly known as algae, a Latin word which literally means seaweeds. Phycologists, however, use the term algae in common manner for all the classes of algae. They are thalloid autotrophic organisms which can synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. The study of algae is known as phycology. Various Indian and international phycologists have worked on algae. Amongst them are N. Singh, M.O.P., Iyengar, H.D. Kumar, M.S. Randhawa. All are Indians. F.E. Fritsch and G.M. Smith are known for their valuable contributions. M.O.P. Iyengar is known as father of phycology in India and F.E. Fritsch is known as father of phycology. 1.3 General characteristics of algae. Algae are chlorophyll-bearing autotrophic organisms having a thalloid plant body, that is, the plant body is not differentiated into root, leaf and stem. The thallus is non-vascular, therefore have no element for the transport of fluids. Algae have simple reproductive structure. Sex organ are unicellular and if multicellular all the cells are fertile. Sex organs also lack a sterile jacket of cells around the reproductive cell and no embryo is formed after the fertilization. They occur in a variety of habitat but mostly they are aquatic. They show distinct alteration of generation. 1.3.1 Occurrence and distribution. Algal habitat. Uttarakhand Open University, page 7. Phycology and Bryology, BSCBO 102. The algae are predominantly aquatic and are found in both fresh and marine water. Some are terrestrial and can grow under the soil surface, damp and shaded sides. So, on the basis of habitat they may be classified in the following type. A. Aquatic algae. B. Terrestrial algae. C. Algae of unusual habitats. A. Aquatic algae. Majority of algae are aquatic and found either in fresh water or in salty or marine water. The aquatic algae are either free-floating or attached to the substratum with the help of holdfast. 1. 2. Freshwater algae. These forms occur in fresh water of ponds, pools, lakes, streams, river, etc. These freshwater forms may be present in slow-running water, for example, Cladophora, Odagonium, Cherrer, or in stagnant or still water, for example, Hydrodictyon, Chlamydomonas. Marine water algae. These algae occur in saline water of sea. Most of the members of class Phaeophysae and Rhodophysae are found in marine water. Marine algae are generally macroscopic, having large thalli and commonly known as seaweeds. Examples of marine forms are Ectocarpus, Sargassum, Fucus, Laminaria. 3. Planktonic algae. Floating forms of algae are generally referred as planktonic forms. These forms may be uniformly distributed in water or may be discontinuous and patchy in pitches both horizontally and vertically. The examples of freshwater planktonic algae are Chlorella, Hydrodictyon, Chlamydomonas, Volvox, while Cyclotella, Hemidiscus, Fragillaria, Trichodesmium, Oscillatoria are the example of marine water planktonic form. The abundant growth of planktonic algae imparts color and odor to the water. Such a phenomenon is called water bloom or algal bloom. Formation of algal blooms fairly depends upon the factors like temperature, longer days and nutrient availability. B. Terrestrial algae. Many algal genera are found on or beneath the moist soil surface and are called terrestrial algae. The algal forms also occur on the surface of soil. For example, few species of Vaucheria, Butyridium, Frischilla, while some algae having subterranean habit, for example, few species of nostoc, Anabaena and Euglena, and these are known as cryptophytes. 1. Aerophytes. Such algal forms are adapted for aerial mode of life and occur on the tree trunks, moist walls, flower pots, rocks, fencing wise, and get their water and carbon dioxide requirement directly from atmosphere are called aerophytes. 2. Cryophytes. Algae growing on the mountain peaks covered with snow are called cryophytic algae. These algae impart attractive colors to the mountains. Haematococcus nivalis gives red color to the Arctic and alpine regions, while Chlamydomonas yellowstonesis gives yellow-green color to the snow of the mountains of European countries, particularly in Arctic region. Uttarakhand Open University, page 8. Phycology and Bryology, BSCBO 102. 3. Thermophytes. Thiel genera occurring in hot springs at quite a high temperature. There are some algae which are known to tolerate the temperature up to 850 C. Oscillatoria brevis and Haplosiphon lignosum are example of thermophytes which survive up to temperature of 700 C, at which plant life is not possible. Majority of thermal algae belong to Myxophyceae. 4. Lithophytes. The algae growing attached to stone and rocky surface are called lithophytes. Usually the members of Cyanophyceae grow on moist rock, wet wall and other rocky surface, for example nostoc, Rivularia. See algae of unusual form. 1. Epiphytes. Such algal form which grow on the other plants are called epiphytic algae. These algae do not obtain food from plants on which they grow, rather require support only. Caliachite in association with Cherer and Nitella, while Chaetophora on leaves of Vallisneria and Nilambo, Odagonium on Hydrilla are seen frequently growing in natures as epiphytes. 2. Halophytes. Certain algae inhabit in water with high percentage of salts are called halophytes. They include Chlamydomonas crinbergii, Dunaliella and Stephanoptera. 3. Symbionts. A large number of algae live in association with dissimilar organisms for their mutual advantage and are called symbiotic algae. The common examples of such association are the presence of nostoc in Anthoceras, Anabaena in the coralloid root of Cycas, Anabaena azoli in Azolla. Lichen is one of the best examples of symbiosis where the association lies in between algae and fungi. 4. Epizoic. Many algae grow on the shells of molluscs, turtles and fins of fishes and are called epizoic algae. For example, Cladophora is found on snails and shells of bivalves, while Protoderma and Basicladia grow on the back of turtle. 5. Endozoic. Algae which are found inside the body of aquatic animal is called endozoic algae. Zuclarelli occur in the coelom body cavity of hydra and several other invertebrates. Zooxanthella lives in intimate association with coral community. 6. Parasitic algae. Few algae depend on other plants for obtaining food. Thyceratomatous parasitic algae. The common intercellular parasitic algae is Cephalaris, which grow on the leaves of the tea plant Tea sinensis and cause the red rust disease of tea. 1. 3. 2. Organization of thallus. Algal thalli range from unicellular microscopic structure to large seaweeds. Macroalgae such as giant kelp, which is more than 100 feet in length. The thallus organization among algae shows a wide range of variation. One extreme is represented by a simple motile unicell, Chlamydomonas, or non-motile unicell, Chlorella, while in some Cells are grouped into aggregations called colonies, volvox, pediastrum. These colonies are again may be motile or non-motile, hydradictyon. If a colony has a definite shape, it is known as coenobium, volvox. The filamentous habit is most elementary type of thallus and are multicellular. These filaments may be unbranched, for example, ulathrix, or simple branched, for example. Uttarakhand Open University, page 9. Phycology and Bryology, BSCBO 102. Cladophora or a highly complex, for example, Ectocarpus, Polysiphonia, Sargassum, Laminaria. It is noteworthy that no single type of thallus is restricted to any particular division, and there exists a striking parallelism among different division of algae. Detail of thallus organization you will study in Unit 3. There are two types of cell structures present in algae: A. Prokaryotic cell, B. Eukaryotic cell. 1. 3.